BMQ podcast, Charleston is better recognize the tech.
You say you can't be a hoe if it was in a different city?
If the niggas are in different cities.
You can't be a hoe. So you can go to like 20 different cities all at once. Just fly here. And that means you not a hoe in all the different cities?
Exactly.
Y'all are sick as fuck.
That's not
We
sick.
need therapy.
Yes, it is.
That's not sick.
I agree, though.
No, we need therapy.
Yeah, we need therapy.
I don't give a fuck if you had 30 different niggas in 30 different cities and no niggas in your city. A hoe is a hoe.
No, it's not a hoe.
don't
You
give
don't
a
know
fuck.
about
I
it.
think
Unless I decide to tell you, you don't know.
So
You would never run into the man in one of those cities.
that is terrible.
That is not terrible.
That means
I think that's smart.
that
I
means
think so too.
that means you worry too much about public perception. And one thing about black people, we love to say, I don't give a fuck what nobody can say about me. I don't give a fuck nobody think about me. Until it comes to that body count, you don't want nobody there to fuck people in your city.
No, but imagine
you are perfectly fine with fucking.
No.
Oh yeah, I'm not fucking nobody. When you
No.
say I ain't fucking nobody, you don't want to fuck a bunch of people in your city.
Exactly.
So if you fuck a bunch of other people, you still want to
So
fuck.
imagine if you in a club and you fuck 30 of the niggas that you see.
Okay, that is what it
Transfer.
is.
That's no.
That's just fucking fine.
As soon as
That's
you
not
walk
just-
in the club, you gonna walk back out.
That ain't
Imagine if you fuck some niggas in different cities who don't know that each other exist, and when you can walk in your club at home in peace.
That means you still. That means you can only find peace if other people's opinion don't
Hey,
factor.
listen,
in.
man. People don't
So you
dump
worry about the wrong
ashes, they
shit?
spread them.
You're worried about the
I'm
wrong
cool with
shit.
that.
If you worried about a bunch of people in your city with the perception they got of you, you worry about the wrong shit.
You don't want to be. Do we still use the word buster? Am I telling my age?
We can't do that shit. I love that.
If you don't want to be a
buster.
buster in your city,
Why not? I thought you didn't give a fuck with nobody's opinion.
I didn't say that. I never said that.
majority
I
of people.
never said I don't care about people's opinions.
So you will go on record and be like, yes, I do give it down. People think about me.
But certain aspects, yeah, I wouldn't want nobody to think I'm a hoe.
Okay.
So if I decide to spread my men out in cities, then because nobody down here locally knows my business,
That's honest.
I don't mind being approved down here. Fuck these niggas.
No, you do mind being approved down here because you don't want people. You don't want to fuck people in your city so people can talk about who are you. Fuck.
Right, so I don't
you
care
do-
about being
so
approved
you
down
do-
here.
So you do give a fuck what people say in your city.
Yeah, she the Charleston princess.
But you should, because you're the Charleston princess.
I hope this isn't the intro.
Oh, yes it is.
the Gucci princess.
I set that shit up on, smooth. To hit
She
that
eat
button
blue
like,
crab. She eat blue crab
let's
every
revisit
day.
this
Host that
conversation.
night.
Start.
And I was.
But it's the motherfucking BMQ podcast. Hey, quit you get on your shit. This is the second episode in a row. I don't start this shit. You BMQ.
I thought we was turning over a new leaf.
Scoot up.
I relaxed. I said, oh, this nigga taking over the episode.
But like I
Let me
said,
chill.
I'm gonna take over the episode. It's the BMQ podcast. It's your boy Super Jack,
It's your boy, Boss Man Quay.
And I'm Kris Kaylin.
the friend of the show. When I say friend,
Man,
a
our
real
Emerson's
motherfucker, a real nigga, remember who we talk to? When you friends,
Yeah.
you can be honest with each other.
Steph was there when my windows got busted in Atlanta.
I was there. My hand was cut and everything. My hand was cut trying to figure this shit out.
Chris, I'm a Chris' biggest hater.
You are.
Off rip.
I love that for you though. It keeps me
Hey, what
humble.
Kev said? I love that for me.
Like, it keeps me humble.
And when you friends, you can be honest with each other.
Oh God.
And honestly, Chris,
What?
when were we supposed to originally shoot this?
Okay, now hey.
When we supposed to shoot this shit with you a week ago?
2 weeks
2 weeks.
ago.
Or 2 weeks ago?
And
Two
okay.
Saturdays in a row. And one late third Saturday.
And can you tell the people
Why
you couldn't be on the episode after you say you gonna go on the episode 2 times? Hey, I can't do it now. I can do it next Saturday.
Charleston
next Saturday. I can't do it now.
Charleston Princess ain't got time for nobody.
Why?
Are y'all gonna let me speak?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay, so the first Saturday, I don't have my phone in front of me right now, so I really can't tell you. I think that was like Charleston Wine and Food Weekend, if I'm not mistaken.
Man, I think so.
I think that was that weekend. So, baby, I was outside.
Yep. Uh-huh.
But I was an influencer, so I had to get content. So technically, it wasn't a cop out.
Fuck
But I applied to be in that since October.
Alright.
So technically,
a little hard work.
And
Yeah.
you were booked and busy. You were.
yeah. And
You
last
was on the flyer.
Yes, last Saturday I had a party. that I was hosting at El Patio. Rest in peace, El Patio.
Rest in hell.
Oh, shit. But yeah, so that's what happened last Saturday. What happened was I didn't write it down on my calendar. And I am at this age where if it's not on my calendar and it's not in my phone, I don't remember. So when Steph hit me up last week, I was like, damn, I feel like a horrible person because I said I was going to be here and I'm not going to be here. But I'm here now. And I was, yes, shut up. I was supposed to be here at 7. I got here at 8:14. But in my defense, I was eating crabs with a friend. My friend came in town. I was eating crabs with her at Aaron Seafood.
Okay.
And I got home at like 6:30. But also, Steph never sent me the address. And y'all know I don't know my way around Narnia.
You've been here before.
I don't know my way around Narnia. I'm a city girl. So
because you didn't show up to the other events that I invited you to in my house.
I was booked.
Booked and busy.
Anyway, so he didn't send me the address until I didn't see it until after I walked my dog. And I didn't want to smell like crab because I was eating crab earlier. So I had to shower and I'm a mother first before anything else. But anyway, I'm here now. What's that?
I'm not mad at you, Kris.
I didn't even say fuck Rocky. That's crazy.
I'm so glad you booked and busy, but let me stand up for myself.
Okay.
And say, okay, Jess Hilarious, you gonna tell me to shut up. You're not gonna tell me to shut up on fucking
Jess Hilarious.
And speaking of Jess Hilarious,
Ooh.
That's crazy.
I like that.
Lauren LaRosa.
Go ahead, take it there.
Mm-hmm.
Breakfast Club. Y'all might not have to worry about this shit if y'all had my dog on the show instead of Lauren. Now let me tell you, Lauren, you cool. Lauren, you cool. You do a good job. We say journalism is back.
TMZ, journalism is back. She's amazing at what she does. I'm a fan.
Amazing.
Lauren, if you ever see this, I am a fan of you. I respect what you do. Real journalism
I'm
is
a
back.
partial fan.
I fuck with you a little bit, but you a little too rough in them interviews. I ain't gonna lie to you. Lauren LaRosa be like, so what about that crime that you did last week? Did you shoot that man?
She here to get the facts.
And then when a nigga move around the question, Lauren LaRosa be like, but did you shoot that man?
She gonna run that question back.
She makes me uncomfortable during the interview. But you've been doing better, LaRosa. I fuck with you. It's all good. But how did y'all feel about the debacle, about the Jess Hilarious shit and the whole Breakfast Club?
Do you want to go first or you want me to go?
Since you've been on
the Breakfast Club.
This is my thing. I feel like Jess fucked up when she got a media girl to fill her position instead of a celebrity. And this is why I say that. Lauren LaRosa is a media girl. She's worked for TMZ, all these other places. She got her own platform. And any media girl knows that Breakfast Club spot, that's the hottest, that's the #1 media spot out platform wherever there is.
Especially black customers.
Exactly. So if you're sitting there, like, that is a hot seat that any media girl would want. So first things first, like, regardless, you're a woman, have your baby, whatever. But it's like also with that, to only be in that position, and like Jess does not have a radio background. She does not have a radio background. She does not have a media background. She's an influencer. She's a influencer, comedian. Yeah, and people gotta understand, when you're in radio, you got 30 seconds, and in that 30 seconds, and that's a long time for a break, so I really want to say 15 seconds. In that 15 seconds, you have to get to your point, make it funny, and make people want to tune in to you after the commercial. If you have not been trained to do that, and you're just there to do, just with the mess or whatever it is, that's cool, but when you got somebody who's getting exclusives from Wendy Williams, getting exclusives from P. Diddy Lawyer, getting exclusives from Jay-Z representatives, we want to hear that, because everything else that Jess was saying, we can go in the shade room comments and read that. Fair. No disrespect, but it's just like everything that she would do on Jess on the Mess. Is it funny? Yeah, it's funny. Do I comment and laughing emojis? Yes. Do I like it? Yes. But when you're listening to radio, you want to hear what you're not going to hear on social media. That's the point of radio. Radio is the longest running media platform, so it's never going to die. People can say with streaming, radio's going to die. Radio's never going to die. Let's just get that out there. But it's like when you are sitting next to somebody who's telling jokes, which is great, but you also got Charlamagne cracking jokes. You got Envy cracking jokes. So when you got somebody coming with hard-hitting facts, I'm gonna listen because I wanna know what Wendy Williams is saying because you went up there to her room and you couldn't get in, but she told you all this on the phone.
Right.
So it's just like I just feel like with Jess, does she have a place? Yes, but I feel like her allowing Lauren LaRosa to fill in with her was a fuck up. Because if you want me to fill in with you, I appreciate the opportunity, but I want your job. Like, I don't want to come back home.
Right.
I don't want to come back here.
Because you don't put a nigga on the bench in the starting role and think he ain't trying to stay there permanently.
Right, and it's like, you got to keep in mind, that girl was doing that for like, 4 or 5 months when she was on maternity leave. So it's like, yeah, they gave her the position of a senior producer, which is great, you know, you're still there. But it's like, if you can see me, and like, granted, I've met all the producers at The Breakfast Club, and they're all amazing at what they do. But it's like, if you give me the chance to actually be on camera, because when you're on camera, you got other people looking at you. You got other people saying, "Oh, well, damn,
don't
she
like pay
good."
attention to behind the scenes.
Yeah,
Right.
and I would say Taylor is amazing at making them jobs. Taylor can make a job so quickly. She's having a baby. Congratulations.
Yeah.
But like, you got all these
Somebody
people.
put a baby in that thing. That thing is short and stout. Yes,
Okay, but you have all these people doing different things, so it's like when you got the chance to be in front of the camera, like, I'm gonna eat that up. So I feel like Jess should have chosen celebrity, Claudia Jordan, any other celebrity, somebody who got a job, so they wouldn't take your job or want your job. But
I think this is a simple case of jealousy.
I got a thing though. When Jess came on, like you said, Jess with the Mess, she's a comedian. Jess with the Mess is a quick shooter.
yeah,
She's not like a monologue person, a dialogue person. She says whatever's going on, quick shot, move on.
right.
What Lauren does is different. She's reporting the fucking news.
Journalism.
Then she'll throw her little whoop on top
Right.
of it, but she reports the whole thing.
Right.
So when I seen Jess come on, I was torn. I was like, it's either Jess is coming here to be the new Charlamagne, and Charlamagne want to move the fuck on through, or was they confused about the position because you're supposed to actually replace Angela Yee?
I don't think there was any confusion in the sense of what they were doing.
Well, that was
I think sometimes what happens is people apply for jobs, they get the job,
Yeah.
and when they actually in that role, it just doesn't fit because they're not, like you said, she's not radio trained.
Right.
She's trained to make people laugh on Wilding Out. She's trained to make people laugh on social media. But on radio, it's going to take a lot more. Like, me and you can't just go hop on radio today. It's not going to work for us.
Yeah,
because
we're not training for that.
That's what I'm saying. So Jess
go there and
is
talk
a
shit.
hood bitch. Just no offense by that. You know what I'm saying? You from
Well,
Baltimore.
you Baltimore.
Baltimore.
You know what I'm saying? So you got a hood bitch versus a bitch who been at TMZ. I don't mean to say the B word. You got a female who was at TMZ. She's been training day after day. It's like putting a nigga who can street fight in a boxing match.
It's like even when
It
she
ain't
don't
gonna
know
work
the
that
whole,
way.
if she don't know the whole thing, she always got somebody working on giving her the rest of the information.
Exactly.
So she got resources.
Exactly.
So not that she just got the journalism background. She been teaching. She got so much resources where she's like ahead of the game when it comes to that.
Wendy Williams calls her by her first name. You know how great for Wendy Williams, the queen of media, to be like, oh yeah, Lauren, she came up here. Like,
Yeah.
that's huge.
Yeah, she's one of those. She is.
But I think too though, they could coexist, but with them both being alpha females, the option to coexist is non-existent. Because with those type of women, they need a winner.
Yeah.
But the question is,
So it's just that simple.
remember when they were saying that the Breakfast Club ran like a high school?
East Side High.
Yeah. But do you think that the radio station actually had it fucked up? Because it's like you're replacing Angela Yee with a talent, knowing that talent doesn't have a background in journalism. And remember when anytime you go to a new job, right? They give you like a quick run of what the job is, but they don't give you the real thing until you sign on that dotted line and come in. When they was doing like the test runs, when they had you and everybody, it almost seemed like a test run.
Yeah.
During that test run, Jess was amazing. My two favorite people was you, Jess, and Jason Lee.
Yeah.
Y'all was my favorite people when they came out there. I watched everybody's shit. Y'all my favorite people, but they had that shit on training wheels. But when Jess got the job, they took the training wheels off immediately.
Pushed her. Yeah.
They're like, you have to report this shit. Now we realize that Jess can't read out loud like that. She can't. And if she can't, and not saying that it's bad, because a lot of people get like, I don't like reading out loud from the public
Right.
shit. My nerves, anxiety, it fucks it up.
Right.
So I would know that Jess would do things that I would do. If I'm reading some shit, as soon as I start to get nervous, I'm gonna throw a joke in there.
Right.
I'm gonna break it up. I'm gonna try to throw comments in my shit.
In between.
So when I see her doing that, I'm like, oh, she's still trying to perfect her craft.
And that's the problem. You can't get to a main platform and then decide to work on your craft. People who train for this position, you've been working on your craft for decades. You can't just be a comic and go be on Kevin Hart tour. You got to start in all the comedy clubs.
Exactly.
Even nobody.
But
And you know, and my theory too, even if I'm gonna break this shit down even more, because I'm a conspiracy. If you think about it, sometimes I feel like they put just in that spot so fast. Because if you look at it, Charlamagne and Envy the type of niggas to watch you drown.
But you
Because
gotta look
they're in charge of them and their responsibilities.
outside of like Claudia Jordan and the other celebrities who were like filling in as guest hosts. Between me and at that time Lauren LaRosa, Jess had the biggest following.
Definitely.
So it's like you want to bring the person to your. This is the thing. Now with like social media and like influencers or whatever,
Views and ratings.
they want to bring somebody who's going to bring a following with them.
it's a business. Yeah.
So like, if I'm gonna hire you, that means you're bringing all 10 million, or how many ever followers she got, whatever millions of followers she got, they're coming along with her to the Breakfast Club. So they're looking at numbers, they're looking at viewership. Fuck if you can perform. Fuck if you gonna know what to say on radio. We don't have time to train you. Do that Jess on the man shit. That's what they want to see. But it's like what people don't understand, and this, I always tell people, being an influencer on social media and being on live TV and live radio are two different things. Because when you are recording whatever, you can cut as many times until you get that clip that you want to. But when you are live, and you are live for everybody to hear you, and in that break, whatever you say is what you say. So if you're not comfortable being on air, if you don't know what you're doing, like the first time I went on air, like 30 seconds, it was a 30-second countdown, and my program director at the time, she was like, you're about to broadcast out to 300,000 people.
Right.
And I'm like,
it did work. But I feel like in this situation, it did work. And I feel like we can't jump on Jess for not jumping into that opportunity. You want to know why? Because we got certain people in this world who don't jump for the opportunity. Why? Because they feel like they're unprepared.
Yeah.
And they feel like, I'm never going to take that step unless I'm prepared first.
Right.
But most successful people, Quay, you one of these type of people too. You jump first, figure it out later.
right.
This is what
Why
people
can't?
don't-
How can you be mad at Jess Hilarious because okay, I might not be fully ready for this opportunity
Because
but it's an
Jess
opportunity.
already has a platform. You're talking about,
But this
hold
is
on.
the
You're
biggest
talking-
platform.
right? And you're talking about people who take risk. Certain
Yeah.
risks are not worth taking because certain
Coming from you?
facts.
The
And I'm
risk
telling you,
taker?
because guess what? If I had Jess's platform, I'm not taking a risk like that with my career. Because that move and that move alone is not just a now thing.
But mind
that's
you,
your name for
mind
the rest
you,
of your
that's a
time.
brand new career that she jumped into. She's
But
not a
if you
fucking
fail
journalist.
at that brand new career, it not only puts a damper on where you're trying to go, it puts a damper on where you've been.
If you fail.
If you fail, and what
But-
I'm saying, hold on, just hear me out. If you fail, so as a risk taker, it really is risk and reward.
So how
and
you
even me, that's what I'm trying to say. Even me, I'm selective.
Shit, I ain't seen it yet.
Because you don't see other opportunities that I see, other avenues that I see.
Corey, you made us do a live podcast and we ain't even had our podcast ready.
You know
and
why?
You jumped.
That's the point. We have nothing to lose.
And that aspect.
We
That's
gonna
what
look
I'm saying.
stupid.
But this is what I'm saying. If you look at our podcast, even at that state, niggas might have thought we looked stupid already.
Mm-hmm.
So taking a risk with a live
when
show.
you have a little to lose. And I think with
You have
Jess,
little to lose.
even when she was on maternity leave, at that time, the type of person I am, I want to perfect my craft. If I'm on maternity leave, I'm going to be reading these news breaks out. I'm going to be recording my ear checks. I'm going to be prepping myself so when I get back, I can fucking read Ben and Lauren LaBrosa.
But Chris, let me ask you a question. Hold on. Let me ask you a question. If you was at...
I do ear checks now.
Right, but let me say
and
this.
I'm not doing radio now.
If you had the type of cult following that just had, the platform that just had, and you know you had no experience in radio, would you have took that leap of faith?
Shit, yeah.
I was gonna take it because I know the platform that the Breakfast Club has. Right. But my whole thing is when I do shit, I don't like looking stupid. So like that's why I don't go to the gym. But like,
oh shit,
I don't like looking dumb.
Touche, my nigga. Touche.
But it's just like
I just seen a BMQ girl do that shit in the gym the other day. She would look at the machine, she would play around with it. Then she see the white woman on the side. She said, "You some kind of do this fucking ab machine." I said, "Oh, like, you look athletic because you bought it, but you know what the fuck you doing."
I'll work out at my house, but I'm not about to go to no gym so everybody can look at me look dumb on the weights. Right. But getting to the point, like but this is the thing. I feel like it's hard for me to answer that because I've been doing media since college. Right. I was running a radio station in college, so like this is something that I've been training myself to do. But it's just like. If I'm in Jess's position, I know, okay, I'm a comedian, I got millions of followers, that, whatever, cool. But also in the same sense, like, I don't like not looking like I know what I'm doing. So if that means me getting a coach, getting me a program director who's going to continue to work with me until I can like get my shit out in 15 seconds. Because like when you are working with a program director, their job is to make sure like if you're working in a big market radio, you cannot talk that much. Like people get Breakfast Club confused because local radio, you got 15 seconds, 30 seconds at most, but 15 seconds to get the fuck out what you're going to say. Because this is commercial radio. You need to hit your point. If you can make somebody laugh, cool, but your main point is making sure they tune in after about 5 minutes of commercial because you got something that they want to hear. And if you cannot do that and make it engaging and make it funny within 15 seconds, you need to keep practicing.
And just so you said that shit, you've been doing this shit since college. I want to let you know on this platform, I feel like I am your first fucking fan. Let me tell you that.
Thank you.
Let me tell you that. When you were doing the bulldog shit at
Bulldog fight.
When you were doing the interview with Alexis and the fucking convertible, I was fucking
oh my God, next time Charleston, the beginning of that.
On this podcast, I want to tell you that I'm still your last fan.
Oh shit, that's sick. That is sick.
I'm going to save this clip. When I start hosting the Grammys, I'm gonna pull this clip up and I'm gonna post
Please do, motherfucker. And put my at name at the bottom of that.
I'm adding you at all, nigga. Nobody's gonna. No, I will not.
But like you said, Kris, you are a friend. You are a friend of the show. You are a fucking friend of the show. And we always get on your ass, especially quick. We're gonna call you out on your shit. But today is not that day. Today
is an uplifting type of day.
We want to give you your flowers.
I can't cry on camera.
Nigga, hold on. Ain't no real flowers.
I know, but still, the fact that y'all, I appreciate that.
Yeah, we came here today to give you your motherfucking flowers. You've been doing this shit for a very long time. A lot of people quit on whatever the fuck they doing. And you've been doing this shit since college, homegirl. And you are recognized. I don't give a fuck what nobody say bad about you. Why? Because you ain't got no haters. You ain't fucking popping. All right? So remember that shit before you go on the fucking rant on somebody and be like, who the fuck are y'all talking to? Don't like what Charlamagne said, ignore them motherfuckers.
You're right, I ran a long time.
On some seriousness too though, like, you know what I'm saying, we're giving you your praise. I think people, like we was talking outside, people don't understand the background work. So tell us one of your hardest push through moments, like a moment where you had to really sit down and talk to yourself and say, hey, Kris, you got to keep going. Kris, this is your lane. Kris, this is your avenue. Kris, I need to be steadfast in this area.
Tell me one moment where you were like, I cried, and then I fucking stopped crying and be like, yeah, it's time to keep fucking going.
You know what's funny? Being a creative, I feel like I've had so many of those moments. I wouldn't even go to the most recent one. I would go back to college. So like I went to South Carolina State University. And this is when I had my web series Bulldog Bite. It was,
That's when State was Jack and the hoes was popping. Yes, sir.
Okay.
God damn.
But yeah, so like I had a web series called Bulldog Bite, and pretty much it was just like our take of the college experience, HBCU experience, whatever. And like during this time, like I had it, this was like my sophomore year, but junior year is like when you get ready to run for Miss South Carolina State, right? So ran for Miss South Carolina State, and like before I ran, at the time you had to have a 3.0 GPA. At the time, like when I went to state, I was a business major, took accounting, failed that shit with flying colors, and that shit tanked my GPA. So I was just like, let me switch over to broadcast communications. So like in communications, like every semester, like got a 3.9 GPA, but you know, like when you're cumulative, that shit is hard to bring back up. So like, it's time to run for Miss SC State. I spoke to the advisor. I was like, look, I got a 2.9 now, but by time.
Not me to cut you off. Please explain it and what cumulative is.
Oh, the cumulative. Sorry, the cumulative GPA is your weighted GPA. So that's from the time from your freshman year. So every year from freshman, sophomore, junior. All of that shit is weighed. So like that's the median of your GPA. So like if you fail a class, that shit's gonna fuck with your GPA. So like I said, when I failed accounting, tanked my GPA. So like from sophomore, junior year, I am like getting all A's in all my classes, but like my GPA is like coming back up slowly but surely. So it's time to run for Miss South Carolina State. You gotta have a 3.0 to run. I had a 2.978, whatever.
That would have pissed me off.
No, but it's the thing.
Give me my shit.
So I spoke to the advisors who were over the Miss SC State pageant. I was like, look, this is my GPA, but by the time the semester ends, because as soon as you run for Miss SC State, the end of the semester, you get your new GPA. I was like, by the time the semester ends, my GPA is gonna be where it needs to be.
Yeah.
The thing with South Carolina State at this time,
Shout out to South
this
Carolina
is some taboo shit that no one ever spoke about, but I'm gonna speak about it here. I was gonna say this in my podcast.
Oh yeah, give me.
But like pretty much, they altered. At one time, it was a girl who was running from Miss SC State. They did not want a dark skin Miss SC State. So
that's a bold claim.
They altered, allegedly, they altered the formula so the lighter skinned girl would win. So from that year, they always forgot to set the formula back. So when I ran for Miss South Carolina State, I won the votes. I won the popular vote. I won by, it was a long shot. I had 300 more votes than all other girls. And I also won the interview. And you have three, so it's the pageant, the interview, and the votes. If you win 2 out of 3, that means you're the winner, right?
Yeah.
1, 2 out of 3, and my black ass lost because they never fixed the formula back. So like when they announced the winner, I'm like, so everybody on my campaign team, until this day, I keep in touch with everybody who was on my campaign team. We still got our shirts, everything.
Yeah.
But they was like, I'll never forget Ed. He was on the basketball team. He was counting. He was like, how you win 2 out of 3, but you lose? And I'm like, whatever. So the next day we called for a recount. But like I said, I had a 2.9 GPA, and like they had convocation. So convocation, you only go to convocation, you get your little medal, whatever, if you got 3.0. I was not at convocation. So when I called for the recount, the girl who they said won, didn't really win, she was just like, she doesn't have the GPA to be running for Miss South Carolina State. So that same day, I got the letter. They was like, oh, you're the 70th in South Carolina State. Cool. My mama came up there. Like, we went to Waffle House.
Yeah,
I was
gangster,
at Waffle House. My advisor at the time called me and said, this girl went to the president. She went over everybody and was just like, you didn't have the GPA. So I was in South Carolina State for all of 5 minutes. So to the point where you were just like, where was your weakest moment? So like at this time, I'm like, my world is crushing. Like I spent so much money on my campaign, like everything. And I was just like, it's no way, like I'm gonna get past this. And you know, when I look at it now, like this was 2015, and you know, I see where I'm at now, I cackle because I'm like, damn, like that shit like really had me in a chokehold. And it's just like, even with Bulldog Bite, so like at that point, I just poured everything into Bulldog Bite. Everything I was doing, like, so I always tell people, when I'm at a really dark place in my life, I get the best creative product. And so like, that's when I poured everything into Bulldog Bite. Like I got a cast, I got a background music, and it started going viral. And at that time, like my highest rated episode was a GDI versus Greek episode. We got like over 90,000 views.
Shout out to the GDIs, man.
So like,
fuck y'all cap nigga. Fuck y'all cute dog. Fuck y'all alpha. That's how I feel. GDI, nigga.
And even at that time, like, you know, just other things that, like, you know, the admin would ask me to do in Norman, South Carolina State, because they knew I was well-spoken. They knew, like, I was well put together and I could represent the university. So, like, at that time, like, I was just like, my world is over. But, like, looking at, I feel like Kris from 2015 would be very, 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 very proud of Kris in 2025. So, like, it's one of those things where I consistently feel like I feel like the phoenix rising from the ashes. Yeah. Because, like, it's just a lot of things that just be happening, but it's like, I'm just going to continue to stay fast. And because I know what's supposed to happen for me.
You're going to get through that fucking breeze.
Yeah.
A lot of people got to know, when you actually succeed or something, we always see the finishing product.
Yeah.
We don't see when that person gets to that wall, that breaking point.
Yeah.
And you have to break through. Most people quit.
Yeah.
Some people quit before they even get to the full breaking point type shit.
A lot of times.
I'm gonna put my little spin on this shit because I'm a nigga. I don't know what's going on. I don't know who light-skinned girl who win that shit. But I'm gonna say what the fuck I gotta say. Hey, homegirl, you been fucking somebody. You fuck somebody. You fuck somebody in power to get that shit. Cause we all know pussy run the fucking world. You fuck the right person, you get a fucking record deal. We already know that shit. Because there's too much talented women who can't get no fucking record deal, no spot because they ain't fucking the right person. Kris, thank you for not fucking whatever that old sugar daddy nigga. That was the fucking
Big Cadillac.
It's part of that
Big Daddy
shit.
Cadillac.
Part of that shit. But like you said, you went through those trials and tribulations, and that bring me to my point. It's like, I'm about to forget my point, actually.
Not the hookah.
Somebody bring that shit up. So are you ready? Are you ready for fame or prepared for fame? Which is two different things.
And do you even want fame?
Okay, so after my latest scandal in Charleston. Okay, so after that happened, like, I mean, y'all were on Facebook and social media. Having everybody have an opinion about me and people who didn't know me and people creating stories and scenarios that weren't even true, I was like, damn, if this is what fame feels like on a local level, like if I was a full-blown celebrity, if there was a scandal, like if I was Megan Thee Stallion, I was going to cut my comments off. And I saw her documentary and I could relate to that shit so much. But like, am I ready for fame? Absolutely. And I mean, granted, I'm in therapy, obviously. Shout out to my therapist. But it's like, I feel like it's one of those things that's to where, like, you have to take that time by time. Now, if you were to ask me if I prefer fame over being wealthy, I would definitely take wealthy. Because to be quite honest with you, I want to be, my, like, end goal is I want to be a cartoon voiceover. Like, that's what I really want to do. Yeah, like, and so my whole thing is you don't have to know who I am. Like, yeah, we know who Kris Summers is because, like, she was on not the Cosby Show. She was on Different World and all these other shows, and, like, she lent her voice to other things. So she was, like, famous before she did voiceovers. But, like, in my mind, I just want to do, like, I want to be a cartoon voiceover, commercials, lend my voice to things and get paid that way. Do I want to be talent and do I want to be on TV? Yeah. Absolutely, but it's just like fame is a nasty thing. And it's like mentally, I can say, you know, after going through that, yeah, but it's like when you got thousands of people who don't know you, who's like, she's this, she's that, I honestly couldn't tell you how I would handle that. So, like, I know on a local level, that shit was a lot to overcome. So I'm just kind of like, I had to really adopt what people think about me is none of my business.
Oh, I got other questions.
So, no, hold up. Before you get into that, I want to know, because Steph asks stuff that the people kind of already got a grasp of you, but I want to know who is Kris. So, not who is Kris as a social media personality, who is Kris as a human.
That's great, because I feel like
think Kris rough, but go ahead.
I feel like people don't humanize me a lot.
I'm one of them people.
Yeah, I know, and people like feel, and when I hear people's persona of me, and I'm just like, damn, y'all think that? Kris is a woman who grew up downtown Charleston.
Rough as fuck.
Section 8 baby, food stamp baby. But I never like let my environment dictate my outcome. So I went to James Simmons School of the Arts, but like, I was just, yeah, so like I feel like I was blessed to be exposed to things that like I grew up as like a poor little rich kid. It's one of those things like I didn't know. Yeah, like I didn't. Yeah, I didn't know I was poor. Like I'll never forget. It was not until I was in high school, and like I would always fit in everywhere. So I was hanging out with some Jack and Jill kids because I would be at all Jack and Jill shit, but never was in Jack and Jill kid. But like. I'll never forget, they was talking about food stamps, and it was like, yeah, people be doing this for food stamps, and it's like we was getting food stamps at the time, but I knew we was eating crab legs and steak every night. So like
using the system.
I never viewed it as a bad thing. So it's just kind of like who I am as a person. It's just like I grew up, a city kid, but like. I grew up around the arts, so I have a love for the arts, like dance, theater. I have a love for things like that. But like a lot of those things shaped me, like being in Burke High School band, being a charisma girl, like my mom enforced that like I knew how to go on both sides of the track. Cause like, I mean, if I went to SOA and just hung around white people, like, black people like that.
Yeah.
But like her whole thing is just like, you need to be able to go on both sides of the track. So I appreciate that upbringing. But like,
so do you think that push to make you well-rounded has thrusted you? For
sure. And I also feel like going to a HBCU because it's just like, I'll never forget this guy, Duke was from Chicago. And because my mom jersey in the gym, and I'd be like, yeah, my mom in jersey in the gym, blah, 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 XYZ. And I'll never forget, that nigga was just like, okay, so what legacy are you going to make for yourself? And I was like...
Now you got to think.
Right. And so, and Duke, I appreciate that.
Oh,
because
so you think that was a pivot point in your
That was definitely a pivot because I mean my mama jersey in the gym. Like I'm at South Carolina. I got a legacy scholarship. Like my mama the shit. Like what are you talking about? Like throw rose petals when I walk. Like I'm royalty. But it's just kind of like
Princess of Charleston.
But it's just like but it's like also in that same sense I wanted to make a name for myself. So I joined SGA, Royal Court, all of those things just to like figure out who I was. Yeah. So like when I was able to do like Bulldog Bite, that gave me my own identity. And even though like I'm Greek, I'm an AKA, but like I didn't do that until my senior year. And I always took so much pride in being Kris, who happens to be an AKA versus...
That's a lot of work too. Just for a senior year, that's a lot of work.
I took 21 credits. I did a bunch of shit my senior year. Like I was running organizations, but it's like I always wanted to be Kris, who happens to be an AKA and not an AKA and her name Kris. Like I never wanted that to lead in front of me. So like, I don't know who I am as a person. I'm funny. I'm a lover of the arts. Like, I don't know. I just feel like I'm a well-rounded person.
And you gonna keep people in the motherfucking loop.
In the fucking loop.
How long do you do
we loop it? You know what's okay? So that goes back to that whole darkness thing. So like after I was assaulted, they kicked me off. I was attacked. Damn. And I was just like, I'm not gonna like let that stop me from doing what I'm doing. So I was just like, I had this yellow backdrop and I brought that shit down. I put my camera on a tripod and I was like, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. Crazy enough, the weekend rundown, it was a beautiful segment. I always appreciate Lisa for letting me come on. But like in reality, first of all, we were there, like, I was there at 3:30 in the morning for a 5 o'clock hit and a 7:30 in the morning hit.
I remember that.
So, like, nobody was really, like, my age who was watching that shit. Like, they would watch it on my Instagram, on my social media. Yeah. So, it's just kind of like, after that happened, I had to think back on my feed. So, I'm like, if they're already watching shit on my Instagram, just make it straight for social media.
Yeah.
So, I pull that backdrop down, pull up that ring light, and I was just like, this is In the Loop. And I don't even know how I came out with In the Loop, but I was just like, I'm going to keep you in the loop. And I was like, I think that's it.
That's gangster.
I think I got it. So it went from doing it in front of the yellow backdrop.
Hold on. When did the fucking spin?
So it went from In the Loop, in front of the yellow backdrop, and then Demont. I love Demont's in Atlanta right now, but Demont is so freaking creative. Like everything that Demont touches literally turns to gold.
And he literally knew he would bring your segment alive.
Listen, he literally was like, do it. Like he was begging me, like before I even. He was like, "You do it outside, do it outside." I'm like, no, because like mind you, I'm still in this space as to where like I really didn't even want people to fucking see me in person. Because I'm just like, everyone's thinking that I was assaulted. They thinking that like I'm this type of person or creating this narrative about me. So it's just kind of like, I want to be seen, but I want to hide at the same sense. So like, I didn't even want to, like, and he kept harassing me. He was like, you got to do it outside. I'm like, I do not want to be outside. Let me stay in my house and do this.
You feel like that was your comfort zone.
That was where I was comfortable. Yeah, because I didn't know how people was looking at me. I didn't know what they were saying. And it's just like, wanting to know, not wanting to know, but just like when you got some shit like that that's out about you and everywhere and everybody got an opinion, you don't know what people are thinking about you. Like I said, I'll never forget when I went to Woo Wednesday for the first time after that shit happened, and I literally bawled in my car before I went out because I just didn't know what people were gonna say, and that was the thing that.
So do you think the fact that you have this charisma and this confidence, that you think that it swayed people's opinion from basically you having the confidence and charisma? It made people look at you like you couldn't be a victim.
Yeah. And I think that's what it was. I feel like between that and then it's just kind of like, I feel like a lot of people's like, well, she always saying something. And it's just like, even if that's the case, do you still feel like I should be assaulted by a man? Like, even if that's the case, like, do you still feel like that was warranted? And then it was a narrative, oh, she left the station and she's mad that she's not there anymore. And it's like, I left there in December. I was assaulted in March. So it's just kind of like, when you just hear like all these things that are just like not true about yourself, it fucks with you. So like mentally, like, you know, I'm in therapy at the time, still in therapy now, but like at that time I'm in therapy. But it's just like, when I pulled up to that event, I'm like, are people going to be like, oh, are you okay? Like, I didn't know if they were going to like do that or like be like, oh shit, you know, do you know what happened with her? Like, it's just so many things.
But from a fan perspective, do you think? Because we talked outside, so I'm gonna say it in not such a straightforward way. Do you think the fact that the fact that you spoke on it? Do you think people felt like that was a power play, or do you feel like, or from your standpoint, was it an act of courage? Because and I'm a kind of like, I know that was wonky how I said it, but like from a fan's perspective, we can look at it as in, okay, boom, like Jonathan Mayers, for instance, like let's put him in there. He went from beating a white woman up to now he's married, happy with Megan Good.
Right.
Oh, that was a short bit of time. And what I'm saying in a nutshell is, do you think the fans are wrong for looking at that way?
I don't. To answer the first part of your question, I had no desire to put this shit out. The only reason I put it out, because literally after that shit happened, Charlamagne called me and he was just like, because somebody who was out there called him. I never called him.
Shut up.
He called me and he was just kind of like, you have to control the narrative.
Gangsta.
So like, after he said that, he was like, you have to control the narrative on what happened. So at that point, I wrote a statement. I sent it to my manager. I sent it to my lawyer, and they approved it, and I posted it. But even when I posted it, I didn't want to post it because it was just like, I was embarrassed. Like, and granted, even though I was assaulted, I was attacked, I was still like really humiliated because I'm, you know, it's the Princess of Charleston. So it's like you have a certain persona that people look at you as, and then it's just kind of like when you break that third wall, people can really have an opinion and be like, because I mean, granted, okay, with that. Say that shit didn't happen. People can still say, oh, I think she's this. I think she's arrogant. I think she's blah, blah, blah. I wouldn't give a fuck. But now it's just like, yeah, that third wall is broken, but I was also broken too.
I gotta, to say that shit, like your persona and things like that, I'm gonna pivot a little bit. I seen you on social media the other day, you were saying something on Snapchat about...
I ain't even on Snapchat, see, but Instagram.
Let's say that, okay, Instagram, Snap, they all still the same concept. You was on Instagram and you posted some of your story about men treating you wrong because they don't want to be a fan.
Yes.
Can you explain or elaborate on that shit?
I truly understand that.
I feel like every man that I've encountered, like they'll like me, they're into me, and I always say like, I always tell people.
Into you or like your persona?
And that's the thing where I think I fuck it up at. But like, I feel like when I allow men who I consider to be cool or whatever that I would, you know, consider as a mate.
You been in Charleston?
That's why I don't think men in Charleston no more. But I feel like when they get close to me, it becomes that whole thing like, I'ma humble you. Like, you might be the Princess of Charleston, but I'ma humble your ass.
Because they want to be in the front.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like, and it throws me off because I'm like, this is who I was when you met me, and like I've been this person. Like when you met me, I would walk up to the club and hug the security guard and hug the bartender and hug the DJ and a couple other niggas too. But it's just kind of like they're not my niggas.
Don't like no girls
Niggas-
But let me say this too though. Niggas do that with you because they're partly intimidated. But
And that's what it is.
But then you got niggas like me who do it because I always want to keep you at an even level. So when you do get hit hard, ain't nothing you ain't never heard before.
True.
Ain't nothing you never
But
seen
I'm just like,
before.
as a guy
Ain't
who's
nothing.
supposed to like be my partner, you're supposed to be interested in me.
He's supposed
like,
to be protecting you and building you up at all costs.
exactly. So I'm not looking for you to be a fan, but I'm still looking for you to be there to support me and not to be like, just try to break me down. And I've had men I allowed them to get close enough to me, and it's just kind of like, all right, got this bitch, now I'm gonna break her down and let her know what's going
support
on.
is confused with being a fan.
Yeah.
So I feel like when niggas play that part, you got to think about it. Niggas are used to when niggas step onto a scene. Most men orchestrate the room.
Mm-hmm.
Most men work the room.
Mm-hmm.
Most men are the forefront of their situation. Now you dealing with old niggas, grown men, whatever the fuck y'all want to call them. I think it's very hard for them to watch you work a room better than they can.
I honestly, like, just me being like a regular nigga going out, like not even people to your status. Any woman that's like popping or known type shit, I'm not even gonna lie. Like once you said that on social media, I was like, yo, you know what? There's a lot of women that I looked at in that limelight, like, oh, she popular, she's this, she's a figure in the community. I low key look at them in a fan mode in a way. So sometimes that should actually intimidate you. Like me, I'm just going to not say nothing at all.
Right.
Why? Because I'm actually intimidated by your persona, intimidated by who you are, and I end up.
And it dehumanizes. It dehumanizes people.
Yeah. So when I look at you like a figure, like, oh shit, that's Kris Kaylin. Maybe I should say something so maybe she can remember me. Maybe I could do something to this and that. So maybe just like you said, a nigga treats you bad because he figure, oh, if I treat this popping girl like she popping, she not even gonna remember me or take me seriously. Let me do something to make sure she remember me.
Right.
Let me treat you regular. Whole time you disrespecting her.
And
she might have liked you. You might have liked you.
I swear to God, it was this white guy who I actually like, and I was like, that motherfucker would not even send me flowers, and he was talking about buying a fucking robot, and I was like, you know what? I'm done.
But you can what kind of fucking robot? It's a
Like one
robot.
of them goddamn AI robot. You talking about buying a multi-thousand dollar, I said multi-thousand, I don't know if that's a thing, but thousands of dollar robot, but you can't send me $25 flowers?
The
Fuck
funny shit is that nigga would have tried to went out his way to spend too much money on a fucking robot just to impress you. Then once you fuck around, do get impressed, and then that's when you realize, oh, you didn't really have money like that, bro. You're not really that type of person. You really a broke nigga. You really flam. You did whatever you could do to impress me, and then you get involved with them, and then you find out later on down the line
You were lame.
really
like, I'll never forget. I called a man on Saturday, before the next Saturday came, I was like, you just never called me back. That nigga texted me I was at a soccer game. I never text that nigga back.
That's sick.
Because I don't like you.
I'm sorry.
I don't like you.
If I make
I'm
feel
sorry,
like shit
but
after she gonna
that's a real.
So you actually gotta work like
Nigga
fucking.
said I was at a soccer game. Bitch, where the fucking soccer at around here? I ain't never seen it.
I think you would try to use reverse psychology on you.
I was like, you're done.
You done psyched yourself.
I said, do you know who I am? Don't worry about it.
But yeah, Kris,
That's why niggas don't want to be fans.
But I don't want you to be a fan.
No, listen, but it's
I
what I'm
don't
saying.
need you to be a fan.
But hold on. And a woman in your stature, in your position, the minute shit, let me finish. The minute shit ain't going your way, the first thing you throw in the nigga face is what? Status.
No,
So
but
do you do
no,
that?
I don't do that. I don't. I was going to say.
What you say? You know, I'm the little brother you never wanted.
No.
So I'm just gonna tell you, as your little brother you never wanted. That's just
I
fucked up.
prefer a man who has more going on than me. That way he does not feel intimidated. And I say intimidated. Oh shit. Intimidated when I work the room.
So all you saying is you just don't want an average nigga.
So,
No, I never wanted an average man.
right.
So Never mind. That's another story for another.
Hold on. Ask me a good question. What is your definition of an average man?
Oh God.
What do you think of average? It's like financial. Is it
No, I wouldn't even say like when I say I want a man who has more going on than me. One, I prefer nobody who works in media because I feel like that's going to be a competition within itself. So like, I'd rather you be doing like tech. Dog, I don't give a fuck. Do your own thing. I just prefer you're not in media because I feel like if you have your own lane of shit that you're doing, like you're so focused on that, like what I'm doing, like you appreciate what I'm doing, but it doesn't get like enviness or like, jealousy type of thing.
You want a nigga who got so much going on to the point where even if he with you or not, his shit's still gonna move.
Yeah,
you're just an add-on.
Yeah, literally. And I don't. And with shit like that with a man, I don't mind being an add-on. Like with stuff like that because you have so much going on. You're not depending on me and what I got. Like you got your own pull. You're doing your own thing. So it's just like when I'm thinking like average, like when I say average man, I'm thinking like if I walk in the room and I speak to like two guys and if you start feeling the way and you got an attitude, that behavior, like let me just say this. When I'm talking about average, I'm talking about the behavior. I'm not talking about finances. I'm not talking about like job, none of that, whatever. I'm strictly talking about your mindset and your emotional intelligence. So like if you know what I do, if you know that I may have 2 or 3 club hostings out the month, if you know I'm going to be dressed a certain way and men are going to be there, if that makes you feel the type of way, you're average, your mindset is average, I cannot deal with that. Because I'm not about to argue with you. Like I'm here to get coins.
So that actually makes your dating pool actually harder than the average woman.
I know. I know, which is why I'm a single mother for Rocket.
So question, before we wrap this shit up, we just talk about your dating life personally, all the shit you gotta go through. We talked about Jess. She had the baby and ended up putting her fucking replacement on there.
Literally.
So do you feel like right now would be a bad time? Cause I don't know if you want children or not. Would you feel like this is a bad time to start a family because you're still striving to get to where you want to be?
I want a kid? Yes. Would I have a kid right now? No, because I'm in the midst of my career. And even with that Jess thing, like I said, I know she got a kid and I wouldn't tell anyone what to do. But this is my thing. Had that been me and not having a strong background in radio and just kind of fitting my position, we going to the chop shop, boo.
Right.
But like I said, no offense, I want nobody to be like, oh, you tell the killer baby.
Hey, boy, I was about to get on your ass to say you was pro-abortion.
No, but I mean, this is my thing. If I was to get pregnant right now and like I'm not in a relationship, so it'll be
You're
good.
A killer.
I don't give a damn. We going to the chop shop.
You're a killer.
Like, I just feel like, and I've never had an abortion before, but like, because I'm smart and not getting pregnant is not hard. I don't know what y'all bitches be doing. Like, and be these bitches on TikTok who got like 6 kids at 26. I don't know what y'all be doing. Y'all tripping. But like, because I know I'm really focused on my career, I cannot fuck up an opportunity. Because at the end of the day, my career is going to be able to provide for me and my child. So it's just like, so it's just kind of like, that is my top priority. My career over a man, over a kid, over everything. Because if I can't take care of us, then like what are we doing here?
Man, you even said us. That's lit.
I'm talking about me and my baby now. I meant me and my baby.
If you the right nigga, Kris, Kaylin, take care of you.
I meant me and my child. I meant the child.
Yeah.
Not the man.
And I got another thing. You talking about West Africa.
I meant the child.
I gotta go. No, you meant both. You meant that nigga too. And that's another thing I hate. This is me personally, because you know I gotta go through West Ashley to go dump every day at work. I go from downtown to West Ashley. There's a fucking abortion clinic or some shit over there.
Parenthood.
Let me tell y'all, motherfuckers. Usually white man.
Always a white man out there.
Get your funky ass aside that road, that sign. Talk about the save the kids live, all that shit. Boy, nobody give a fuck about you. Nigga, honestly, you need to go get on the job. You got time to go sit in front of
He got too much time on his hands.
With signs and shit to tell people don't butt that big boy. Kiss my fucking ass, boy. Get your funky ass on a job somewhere. You ain't gonna never have no good woman because you too busy wasting your valuable time telling people not to get rid of babies.
And playing parents.
Boy, fuck you. Honestly, your mama should have bought you too. Honestly, you would say that shit. You out here fucking everybody's life up. I just want to say this. I hate them.
Before we wrap up, Kris, what you got coming up next week?
All right, so I am getting ready. So I'm actually, I don't know when it's coming out, but I'm getting ready to film episodes of my podcast.
You got an invite.
Real journalism is back.
Yes, real journalism is back. I done let y'all play up on these people with these interviews. Now I'm back. But no, I'm excited. So they will be on my podcast whenever they select a date. But I'm really excited to be bringing that back. I'm doing that. I am planning a concert that's going to be coming down here. I just have a lot of things up my sleeve that I am just really looking forward to. Y'all, I know y'all want to know who's coming down here and what the fuck I'm talking about, but y'all gotta wait. Yeah.
Let me say one fucking thing about that shit right there, about real journalism. Let's talk about podcasting. Podcasting ain't radio.
No.
Ain't news. Ain't
Right.
just giving the shit. Not every podcast is meant for journalism.
That is correct.
Some podcasts is just for like me and Quick.
And personality, yeah.
Personality. So we go on social media and see everybody taking shots about, oh, these podcasts need to be doing this. Y'all need to have real journalism. Y'all need your journalism back. First of all, we ain't really had too much journalism podcasts in Charleston. So please shut the fuck up. So unless you gonna go out there and put journalism in podcast and Charleston, please shut the fuck up and worry about your fucking self. Cause BMQ BMQ will do what the fuck they do. We do what the fuck we going on here. Y'all do the fuck y'all do. If you don't like the podcast, that's you. I'm not mad at you. We not talking for you, bitch. Take your funky ass over there to go find some journalism.
And if you don't know, now you know, nigga.
Well, here, man, listen.
I just feel like podcasts are about personalities.
Yeah, it's whatever you want to do.
And whatever you want to do, yeah.
They got gaming podcasts.
Podcasting
They got
is
anime
about
podcasts.
what the
Would y'all
fuck
get
you
into
want to do
streaming?
with it.
I wouldn't.
No.
I ain't got enough time. Period. Quay got time, but Quay ain't got time because he got to go, I ain't going to take my dog out. And he ain't got time for that shit. And me, I work about down almost 60 hours a week. I ain't got time to be streaming with y'all motherfuckers, all right? We come here to enjoy ourselves. Like, what's y'all purpose? Quay, our purpose is we come in, we have a good fucking time, we have conversations,
You know what? I'm gonna break that down in a little bit more professional term. Our job here, guys, is to bring the best out of people that you see. Our job here, guys, is to make a motherfucker who don't talk. Our job here is to make a motherfucker laugh who didn't laugh.
People who have bad narratives on them, what we want to do?
Change them.
Highlight that shit and have good narratives on those people so they can look at them different.
Our podcast is for real niggas.
Our podcast
Real niggas only.
It's for us. So, before y'all come over here and talk shit about BMQ, got so much fucking shit to say, and please
Who
don't...
talking shit? Y'all know I like to argue.
A lot of people.
Oh, I like to argue. Send me the at names. What's that?
Listen, don't come to my motherfucking Snapchat trying to tell me what the fuck we need to be having our podcast.
And when Princess Diaries drop, don't fucking be telling her how to run her shit.
I wish a
You know
motherfucker.
what?
I've been on the Breakfast Club. Y'all can't tell me shit.
Before I log
What the
off,
fuck is you talking about?
I'm gonna say this. Sweep your own motherfucking porch before you come sweeping my shit.
And find me on Tubi, Amazon
what they say?
Prime, All In, YouTube,
Go.
all that good stuff.
Go.
Hey, follow her on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
Go.
Follow me on Instagram at Kris Kaylin, TikTok _Kris Kaylin, Facebook Kris Kaylin, X Kris Kaylin, _Kris Kaylin.
And go buy your own motherfucking porch, bitch. Don't talk about other people's fucking porch. You ain't got your fucking own. Now, I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna go start that. Go do it, bitch. Don't fucking talk about it. Be about it.
We don't want no threats.
Do you follow any exes on social media?
And it's the BMQ
Yes, we do.
podcast.
'Cause me and all my exes is just fine. Cause Super Jack wasn't a hoe. Super Jack was a good
All
guy.
my exes live in Texas, nigga. Fuck that.
It's the BMQ podcast. It's your boy Super Jack.
It's your boy Boss Man Quay.
And I'm Kris Kaylin.
And we out y'all.
That was good.
Stay gangster.
Yay.
You know what's funny? I felt like